I did not know that you guys were going to enjoy what I just did. You guys were going to enjoy the video that I put out telling you what you should think of the PS5 and yada yada yada. So I'll skip the bullshit you already seen probably on Instagram, whatever social media shit that you use, the price and the date of the PS5. So let's leave that for like absolutely last. Let's talk about like what they showed. And they mostly just showed games. They showed Final Fantasy 16, which is very reminiscent of the very older Final Fantasy games, like let's say 1 through 4, 1 through 5, where it's more medieval fantasy than anything else, than the magic and all that other stuff, even though there's a lot of magic in that trailer. It has to do with war and how, and this one, it looks bloody as fuck. I don't know why, out of all the Final Fantasy games, they decided to make this one super bloody, but hey, it works. It's kind of cool. And Final Fantasy 16 takes place in a weird like humans versus the actual summons thing. You see Shiva and she looks amazing, and then you see this little boy who some horrific shit happens to him, maybe he becomes Ifrit, and then Ifrit starts ripping people apart. Really fucking cool. Then we see Spider-Man Miles Morales. There wasn't much there that I can say was new. The way that it plays is kind of how it plays in the PS4 version, except that Miles Morales already has electric powers along with the spider abilities and the invincibility thing. So they just added that to the fighting system, which was already really good in Spider-Man PS4. It focuses more on his Hispanic heritage. You see all the Puerto Rican flags. It takes place a year after the events of the main game and is cool, I guess. What else are you gonna do? He did the thing where he holds the thing, where he holds the bridge. He did the thing. It's like a staple now that Spider-Man does this thing. They show Resident Evil 8, or Village, as they're calling it. You know, it's cool. You know, it looks scary. They have like this Tim Burton shit going on with the skinny characters when the lady's telling the story. But generally it's gonna be Resident Evil in this new first-person format that they're going, which is really fucking scary. And if you don't think Resident Evil 7 is scary, go do that shit in VR and tell me that game isn't scary. They showed Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition. Now, Devil May Cry has been doing this Special Edition thing for the last 2 titles, which is they add like extra characters. So in part 3 they added playable Virgil. In part 4, they think they added Lady and Trish. I'm not really sure. I haven't played part 4 in a really long time. And spoilers for Devil May Cry 5 if you haven't played or beaten it or whatever. You can just skip the fuck ahead. You get to play as Virgil, and you know, most of that story is about him, and it's about like, you know, finding him and all this other shit. The main difference that you get to see in Spider-Man and in Resident Evil 8 is that although these are older games or this generation game, you can see how the lighting, the ray tracing that they're going to be using affects how these games look, and they look amazing. They could have just came out on the PS4, but they wouldn't have looked as good because of the ray tracing and because of how fast it loads. The one thing I was shocked and surprised was Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. Look, I love this franchise. I think it's really cool. Can I play it? No, I'm a fucking scaredy cat. I am horrible, clearly, at very jumpy, scary games because I'm a baby. But I enjoy the lore of Five Nights at Freddy's, so this looks cool. I'm surprised it was in a PlayStation conference. I know it's not going to be exclusive, but whatever. Then they have the PlayStation Plus collection, which is basically PlayStation exclusive games that if you haven't played yet, you can play them now. They showed The Last of Us, Days Gone, Infamous Second Son, First God of War, Ratchet and Clank, just games from this generation that if you haven't played and you still want to catch up and play it when you get a PS5, you can still do it. And it's going to be part of your PlayStation Plus thing. So that's cool. Go fucking play Persona 5, one of the best RPGs that there is. Go fucking play that game. They teased God of War 2 at the very end, and they called it Ragnarok is coming. If it's gonna be called God of War 2 or God of War Ragnarok, I don't want to get any Thor jokes. No more Thor jokes. I want no Thor jokes. Like, leave it alone. I'm interested on where they're going with this. This looks like it's gonna be a fantastic game because God of War 2016 is amazing. So this one has to be fucking amazing as well. You already know. Digital, $400. Disc, $500. Come on. I expected it. Most people expected it. It makes sense if you want to be it from a competitive standpoint. This is what you want to do. This is what you want to try to get people to buy. And honestly, I know people who like digital. I know people who only like disc. $100 seems like the perfect, hey, I can make that decision. And that's what really matters, is for people like us to make the decision on which one we want to get. I don't want to feel like if I got the digital version, that I'm going to be left out from playing games. I want to feel like it's just as powerful. It just doesn't have a Blu-ray drive, you know, and vice versa. And the fact that it's coming out November 12th, it's right in the beginning of the holidays. Will this be a regular thing? I don't fucking know, man. I just want to, did this shit because you guys don't want to look shit up. And I look things up all the time, so.